Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. And I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say peace and blessings to those for elect, hearing this word in truth and in sincerity. And I want to do this lesson concerning this election, pretty much also the future of America, despite who wins this election. Because, everybody's been on edge dealing with, whoever wins this election is going to pretty much be their president for the next 4 years. But really, man, despite who wins this election, America is still set to fall, according to the Bible, man. Alright, the future of Babylon still stands, and you got a lot of our people, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, that are really, they put their trust and their hope in this election, in that this thing, if Kamala Harris wins, or Trump, because you got niggas for Trump too, but on both sides, whoever wins, is going to make, their next 4 years, better. When in reality, according to the scriptures, the future for Babylon is going to be hell. And let's get the scriptures on that. Dealing with 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 14. I'm going to start from here because, when you deal with prophecy, it's pretty much telling you of what's getting ready to happen. There's the prophecy to say before, alright? And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai declared these things from before, man. And we're going to get that and then go back to, that 2nd Ezra. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 46. Slaki. Got it mixed up. And 10, and it says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. You see? So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, pretty much declared the end from the beginning. So he declared, who was going to become president next. See, right now, it shows Donald Trump is leading, and it shows Kamala Harris, is behind. But if by any reason, right, she catches up and ultimately wins or whatever, guess what? Or if ultimately a decision is made to where, she got more votes or whatever happens, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai declared that whoever wins this election. Because at the end of the day, whoever wins is gonna be the one to do the Lord's will and bring this place down, right? Whoever wins this election, is who Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is gonna use to further, destroy this place. But I think, by the way it looks, Trump, has 3 more to win. So, hey, man, it is what it is with this thing, because we don't have our hopes here. We don't have our chips here, man. All right, but you got our people out there, that may still be awake looking for this election, because truth be told, I actually fell asleep and then woke up, and I couldn't fall asleep no more. So, I'm just laying down in bed. So I thought I'd just do this lesson instead, just laying down through the Spirit. But this is Micah chapter 2 and verse 10, and it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. So the Lord is pretty much saying, arise ye and depart from this place, man, America, or from whatever captivity that you were sent to, because this is not your rest. Our rest is ultimately in Jerusalem, man. Our rest is in Yahushua when he comes back, well, let me put it like this. Our rest spiritually is in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, but our true rest is going to be when, the Lord sets his kingdom up on earth and brings us back to our land. All right? Because here in America, man, constantly working, we can never really get a good night's sleep. You go to sleep knowing that you got to wake up and go to work tomorrow and slave for, the enemy, right? So what kind of rest is that? You only get enough sleep to come back to work the next day, man. That's not rest. All right, that's hell. That's oppression. See, we're looking to Yahweh Shah to come and save us from our oppression. Okay, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 14, and it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And you have this one people versus another. You got different nations here in America. You got so-called black people, so-called white people, so-called Asians, Arabs. Different nations are in America, man. The Israelites are the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. So-called white people are, the Edomites. And then you got different nations. Moab, which are the Chinese, Japanese, which are the so-called Japanese, which are the Ammonites, so on and so forth. And pretty much these different, nations, are looking to who becomes president next. Ultimately, when this system collapses, when the lights go out, these are going to be people that fight against each other, man. The book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, says, "It shall be as a chased straw." They shall. Well, let's get there real quick. I got all night to do this lesson, so ain't no rush. Isaiah 13 and verse 14, and it says, "And it shall be as the chased roe." And if I'm not mistaken, a roe is like a deer. When a deer is being chased, they flee, right? So Yahweh Shemiah Shai is likening, these different people, as a deer that flees when they see danger. So when that danger comes, these people are going to flee back to their own, man. All right, Esau going to be with Esau. Jake is going to be with Jake. Of course, you're going to still have a few simple ones, of our people that cling on to Esau, and they're going to get destroyed, man. But for the most part, it's going to be, everybody going to go back to their kindred. Esau ain't going to be looking at Jake as a partner. He's going to be looking at Jake, because Esau's true nature is going to be out there. His true, who he really is going to be, which is the devil that the Bible speak of. All right, it's going to really be out there. So, he ain't going to be, buddy with Jake in that time. Right now, it's just a show. It's just a mask. But when that time comes, when survival mode kicks in, that's when, them horns are going to be shown. But it says, "And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people," you see, "and flee every one into his own land." So these different nations are going to turn to their own people. So when you go back to 2nd Ezra 15, it says what? For one people, for the verse 15, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands." Civil war, within America, man. You already have the spirit of division here in America, where people don't agree on the same thing, yet they live among each other. And all it's going to take is that push. It remind me of the movie The Dark Knight, when Joker was being interrogated, and he was pretty much going into how he's already ahead of the curve. All it takes is for, that push. These people want to eat each other, which in a lot of these movies, man, the villain mostly be right. The villain be right most of the time, but he's vilified to make it seem as he's the bad guy, and the hero is who has the values, man. But the villain usually tells the truth in a lot of these movies, and they make it that way, so you can hate the villain and hate the truth that he says, You know, that's a cunningness of Esau. You know, make a villain, make the villain hateable, and then when the truth that he talks about, the truth that he says, you know, is going to be also hated because he's hated, man. You know, and in this movie called, you know, Prophecy, which is the Lord's movie, the villain are who? The prophets. You know, the villains of this world are the prophets. Believe it or not. You know, because the prophets are telling you the truth. You know, and therefore the truth is hated. Therefore you're going to be vilified. Verse 16 says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." You know, it's going to be an uprising. Sedition means an uprising. So they're not going to regard the governors, the king, you know, the mayors, the president. You know, like you see in the movies, you know, before all hell break loose, you know, people are getting anxious, you know, and people are asking questions, what's going on? And then the president comes out and says, people, calm down. We're figuring this out. Well, at that time, people ain't going to be hearing that. You know, they want to know what's going on. You know, they're going to take matters into their own hands. Because it's going to come to the point where people realize that, you know, their government don't care about them. Right now, it's just a clown show, man. All right, a lot of you people that believe in Donald Trump, hey, if Donald Trump wins this election, you know, he's going to forward the agenda of the elite, which is ultimately the agenda of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua on the left-hand side. You know, but he's going to follow forward their agenda, you know, and your agenda is going to be left in the dark, you know, because your agenda, or the American people's agenda, is to make America great again. At least Trump supporters. That's their mantra, make America great again. You know, but they're not going to make America great because America don't have too long. And the elite know that. All right? And that's why they're about done with America, Babylon. You know, they done used her up, you know, and now it's just time to let her go. Let her destroy herself. Verse 18 says, "Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." You see? Because of the destruction that's getting ready to happen. You know, it's not going to be something light. You know, people don't understand the Lord. People don't understand the Lord until they see what he's going to do, man. Verse 19, "A man shall have no pity." See that? It's like you. The hurricane that passed, that should have showed you the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. With that tornado too, that should have showed you the fear of the Lord. You know, especially after the aftermath. But, you know, for a lot of these people, you know, it's going to take more, you know, and that's the pride of these people, man. It's going to take more for them to acknowledge the Lord. And he's going to get his praise and his acknowledgement. Because, you know, it's serious when the atheist says, "Oh my God, God, please help me." You know, it's going to get to that point. "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." So it's going to get to that point where people are just going to be killing each other for survival. You know, that's what the scripture is saying when you sum it up. You know, somebody that used to say, "Good morning, Tom," "Good morning, Bob," or "Good morning, Jerry," or whatever, every day on a regular basis is going to become enemies because they got to survive. They got to eat. They got to feed their families. You know? So it's not going to come a point of, it's not going to come a point of, you know, it's going to come to the point where, you know, friendship and loyalty is going to die, you know, in times to come. And the only true friendship and loyalty is going to be among Yahweh Bashim Yahushua's elect, you know, because that wicked spirit which is within the world, you know, of wanting up another, or wanting somebody else. Salakia. Jay congested. But that spirit of the world, which is one-upping somebody else, is not among the body of Yahushua. You know, and that's why, you know, and that's why Yahushua said, "That men shall know that you are my servants." You know, never have to paraphrase by the way you treat each other, by the way you conduct yourself, because, You know, even when brothers are out in day-to-day lives, you know, and we're amongst each other, the way that we conduct ourselves towards one another, the love that people see, you know, you can see it. You know, after camp when we do the salute, you know, and you know, we salute brothers. You know, people driving by, and it's like they're wooed at it. They're wooed, like, what's going on over there? Because the image of Jake is, you know, shoot 'em up, bang bang, you know, niggas. All right, that's the image, you know, that our people were put to be, you know, and that's what people believe us to be, man. But you know, when people drive by, they don't see, you know, brothers sagging their pants. They don't see brothers, you know, acting like niggas, man. All right, they see the true love of Yahushua with them brothers. Okay, and that's when the time to come, you know, in the time of Jacob's trouble. Hey, someone that might come among, you know, the congregation of the Lord, they're gonna see the love there. You know, it's gonna really be made evident that, you know, the loyalty and the fake loyalty at that, so-called love that people have of the world, you know, wasn't true. When you said true love of Yahweh Shem Yahushua's, you know, elect, you're gonna be like, this is where it's at. But for a lot of you, it's gonna be too late. You know, of course, Yahweh Shem Yahushua has those appointed to wake up at the 11th hour. But, you know, for a lot of our people, the Lord is gonna say no. You know, that's the scary part. You know, knowing that you have mercy, and then just to be told no when it's all said and done. All right, let's go through the scripture, the book of Isaiah, chapter 19. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2, and it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." You see, and the modern day Egyptian are the Edomites. Okay, because America is the modern day Egypt. Revelation the 11th chapter, and we'll see the 8th verse says, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. That's where our dead bodies lie. All right, dead bodies mean what? Our dead bodies mean that we were spiritually dead from the understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, let's get the scripture to prove that. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 21. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding, Proverbs 21:16, Salaki. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. You see? So, without understanding, you're likened unto being dead. That's why Yahushua said, it is the spirit that quickeneth. Alright, the flesh profiteth nothing. You know, the Lord also said, now you're, Salaki. Not Yahushua has said that, but you know, he said it through the Apostle Paul. You know, when he said quicken. When he said, let me see if I can find it real quick. There's plenty of them, but it was said in the New Testament too. Right here, Ephesians 2:5. This is always one that stick with me because, you know, I'm still a babe in this truth, but I'm talking about when I first woke up to the truth. This is one of the many precepts that I learned, you know, dealing with being quickened in the spirit, being made alive, and that's what quicken means. It says, even when we were dead in sins, have quickened us together with the Mashiach. By grace you are saved. So we were made alive, you know, when we woke up to this truth. And you feel it, man. Right? When you woke up to this truth, you feel a burning fire inside of you. You know, your eyes lit up. You know, and that's the word, that's the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua inside you. You know, this is Ephesians 2:1. And you hath he quickened who are dead in trespasses and sins. See, we were dead in trespasses and sins. Why? Because we had no understanding. Therefore, when we got this understanding, we were made alive. Psalms 119 and 50. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word have quickened me. See? So it's the understanding of the Lord's word that quickens us. Alright? So going back to Isaiah 19. I just want to hit those points dealing with the dead bodies in Revelation. But going back to the point, it says, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Alright? So the Lord is setting the Egyptians against Egyptians. You got Edomites versus Edomites. Right? Democrats versus Republicans. Okay, and of course, once again, you got our people in the mix, different nations in the mix. Where the Lord is ultimately bringing down Esau. Alright, all the nations are being brought down, but those that are in power are the Edomites. 3 says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. They're going to be seeking to their idols, but their idols cannot save them. That main idol who? Jesus Christ. Alright? And Jesus Christ cannot save you. Jesus Christ cannot save America, because he's an idol. Alright? That's the Edomite God. And the Edomite idols are going to fail in the day of the Lord's visitation. Alright? Let's get this one. Jeremiah 51 and verse 24. And it says, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. So, when you read Jeremiah 50 and 51, right, chapter 50 and 51, this is the Lord calling out America. All right? And we know this because, the way he describes Babylon, in these 2 chapters, lets you know that this is a future judgment to come, because it's dealing with America or Babylon. Let me say it like that. It's dealing with Babylon in these 2 chapters being destroyed by fire. Whereas, we know the ancient Babylonian Empire was not destroyed by fire, but it was only translated, alright, into the next kingdom, alright. The Persian Median Empire, Salakia. So it was translated into the Persian and Median Empire, but this Babylon spoken of in this, is going to be destroyed by fire, in which we know that this is talking about America. It says, verse 25, because the Lord says, I'm going to render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil, meaning what? He's going to pay them back, of all their wickedness. Okay. Verse 25 says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. And mountains represents governments. And the highest government right now on earth is America. Which goes around destroying nations, bombing different nations. That's that destroying government, a destroying mountain. This is what Esau used to take a foothold on the earth. It says, saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth, and I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. You see? So that's how you know it's talking about a future judgment. I know that future judgment is done with America. He said, I'm going to make it a burnt mountain. Right? And he's going to do that through the nuclear missiles. When World War III takes off, these nations are going to go at it. And by the end of that war, missiles will be shut off. Yahweh Shah is going to shoot laser fire, alright, on America. And that's the whole point and the gist of the lesson. Despite who becomes president, the judgment is set. So, so as you can see, Kamala Harris is getting up there now. Alright? So, despite who wins, it's ultimately the Lord's will, alright, to put them in office. So, this thing can go either way, Not really excited to see who wins, Well, I kind of am excited to see who wins because I want to see the disappointment on our people's faces. Despite, who they voted for. If it's Kamala, well, the so-called black woman is going to be disappointed. It's going to be funny. If Trump wins, well, Salakia, I said that wrong. If Trump wins, the so-called black women, all right, and these Negro simps are going to be disappointed. If Kamala Harris wins, well, these Negro coons, all right, are going to be disappointed. All right, because they ultimately put their trust, all right, in this broken reed. A reed is like a stick that you use to stand. What happens when that stick breaks unexpectedly, as you're using it? It's unstable. An unstable staff, you're using to walk, and pretty much it breaks. You fall, right? So a lot of you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, that put your trust in this broken reed called America, it's gonna fall. It's gonna break unexpectedly, and you're gonna fall with it. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, hearing this word in truth and sincerity. Until next time, I say shalom.